and gentlemen, we are ready for our grand entrance. We'd like to welcome you to the Mid-Mon Valley All-Sport Hall of Fame banquet honoring the high school scholar athletes and the WPIL achievement winners. Our first inductee is Don Baltimore-Musi.
I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, which I'm certain I have lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway and more, much more than this.
Here for our coach. Our next inductee is Phil Yu. Next inductee is Joe Marginari.
Driving down the interstate, running 30 minutes late, singing Margaritaville and minding my own. Some foreign car driving, but with a road rage attitude. Pulled up beside me, talking on his cell phone. He started yelling at me like I did something wrong. He flipped me the bird, and then he was gone to some beach. Big umbrella casting shadow around the beach. Onto the water, warm breeze blowing. I picture myself right there on some beach.
Danny said nobody got hurt. Next inductee, give it up for Scott Negro. Give it up for Daryl Ruby. of applause. At this time, I'm going to ask everyone to bow their head and have a moment of silence for two of our former inductees, Rudy Anderbaker and Shiroki. Rudy's 1997 class and Pete Shiroki's 1997. Thank you. I would like to congratulate the Hall of Fame class as well as the scholar student athletes this evening. It's certainly a pleasure to be here with you this evening and sharing in this honor. And I have so many fond memories when I think about this class as well as the student athletes. And one of the memories that I have, when I was very small, I can remember Phil Hughes, who I used to watch running the ball for Charleroi. He's in our family room, and he's there with two of his teammates, Alfred Horner and T.I. Isabel. And I remember my aunt, I was very small, and she said, you know, did you guys win today? And Phil said yes, and Al said yes, and she said, well, how many touchdowns did you score? Now think about the society that we're in today. This is what Phil Hughes did in middle school. He only held up his fingers. He scored 6 touchdowns. And he just held up his fingers, and my aunt said, wow, you must really be good. You know what he did? He just nodded and said, and his two teammates, Alfred Horner and T.I. Isabel, they nodded too. And it was such a memorable impression for me as someone who was in grade school to see that at that time. And as I fast forward, I had such a great opportunity from middle school to coach one of the inductees this evening, Carter Risky. And I can just tell you from this young man from middle school all the way to high school, and I know I can say this about the other inductees as well, but Carter Risky, you will be hearing his name. He is going to do something great in our society, and you're going to hear about it. You know, the origin, as just a background of the Hall of Fame, the origin is found on page 4, 5, and 6 of your booklet. But from Johnny Benarza, who was the Mon Valley Sports Writer Hall of Fame in 1951, to Bernie Serra, Sr., founder of the Mid-Mon Valley All Sports Hall of Fame, there's a rich tradition of sports in the Mid-Mon Valley. And Bernie had proposed forming a special events committee, and you can see that the tradition runs very steep when it comes to sports. This evening I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our MC of this evening, Lanny Perry, 33 years broadcasting experience for the Pirates, and a professor at Waynesburg University. Let's give Lanny a welcome.
Excuse me a moment, folks, while I see if my name's in the paper or not. Evidently not. Mr. Chairman, fellow Pirates fans, fellow Democrats, that's okay, I understand. I understand I was not the first choice to be MC tonight.
I saw the list. I saw the list. Andrew Stockey was your first choice. Bob Papiani was second on the list. L.B. Oxenrider was third. Bill O'Reilly was fourth. Sean Spicer was fifth. All 5 of them said no, and so you got me, folks. And I am honored. I am honored to be here tonight as your master of ceremonies. I noticed in the program that many, many years ago, Bob Prince was the MC, was here. Bob Prince, my mentor. who taught me a lot of great things about being a Pirates broadcaster. We were talking earlier about the great Rosie Rosewell and Open the Window Aunt Minnie and Bob Prince with Kiss It Goodbye, and we had them all the way. So I'm honored to have followed in the great tradition of Rosie Rosewell and Bob Prince. And I want to thank each and every one of you for allowing me for 33 years to come into your homes and to come into your hearts and share Pirates baseball with you. Somebody get that phone, please. It's for me. It's Andrew Stocky. He can all of a sudden come now. I'd like to take a moment to introduce you to my sweetheart, Suzanne Scott. Would you stand up, Suzanne? She has been such a rock for me. And yes, you're right, I have an affinity for beautiful women. So much so that I saw a beautiful woman earlier tonight, and I just had to go up to her and say hello. She's so gorgeous. So I went up to her, this lady in a white dress, and I said, "Hi, I'm Lenny Terry." And she said, "I'm Tony Salvino." And I said, "Oh, you're Joe's daughter." You know, speaking of coaches' wives, I have been, since I left the Pirates in 2008, starting in 2010, I began announcing for the MSA Sports Network, which is a company that was created by Don Rebel. And it has been inspirational for me to work for Don Rebel because he is so totally dedicated to covering sports in Western Pennsylvania. I had the pleasure of announcing a Bell Vernon softball game recently with Tom Rodriguez. Loved it. Had a great opportunity to meet some talented softball players. And by the way, congratulations to Tom for the success he's enjoyed with that program. I have a new best friend because of MSA. My new best friend, Bruno Papasergi right there, ladies and gentlemen, my new best friend. And Phil Pergolo, who of course has been inducted into the Hall of Fame here. So wonderful for me to have this opportunity to go out and be a part of the young lives. Congratulations to the scholar athletes that are before us. You know, we learn a lot about being in sports, and I've said on the air at the MSA Sports Network, thank goodness we finally figured out as a society, and it took us a while to realize that sports was as important for women as it was for men. That all of the lessons that are a part of sports, including the winning and the losing, do remarkable things to develop our young people. Congratulations to all of you. But I was saying a moment ago, speaking of wives, of coaches, and through the process, you know, very often when I do a game, I call the coach to find out a little bit about his team. And inevitably I get the coach's wife. And sometimes I have more conversations and have more pleasant conversations with the wives than I do the husbands. You take that for whatever it's worth, folks. But I am dear friends. I was telling the crew over there, I am dear friends with Jim Render, who's the head football coach at Upper St. Clair High School. He's one of my best friends. One of my best friends. Okay? And Jim's won over 500 high school football games. He's the winningest football coach in all of Western Pennsylvania. And I've got to know his wife, Pam, and she's a remarkable woman. She told me this story one time. I love this story. She said, "Lenny, Jim lost a real tough game one Friday night. And he was pouting the next day. He was pouting. And he was sitting there in his den. And out of the spur of the moment, he said to her, Pam, how many great football coaches do you think there are in Western Pennsylvania? And Pam, without batting an eye, said, one less than you think. You know, I wanted to be a baseball announcer since the time I was 12 years old. That's all I could think about. And fortunately, my mom and dad, they knew about this. I have an older brother. When my older brother would play baseball, my dad would park the car so I could sit there in the front seat of the car and announce the games. Can you imagine people going by this car, hearing this 13-year-old going, "There's a drive, deep left field, go, get out of here, home run," you know? But I had this dream, this passion, and boy, at age 28, I realized that dream and became a pirate broadcaster. And I love just putting on the headsets. I love having a chance to call play-by-play. And I've told people this many times, and it's true. I'm not really a sports fan. I'm a fan of announcing. If you said to me, "Lanny, would you like to go to the World Series?" What, I got to sit there and watch it? "Lanny, would you like to announce a high school baseball game?" Yeah, that's what I want to do. That's really what I want to do. And over my time as a pirate broadcaster, I met some remarkable people. Willie Stargell, who led the Pirates. We heard the theme song earlier for one of our inductees, "We Are Family." Willie Stargell leading the family to the 1979 World Series championship. In the 1979 season, it was a remarkably magical year. So many unfathomable things were happening. We had a game in San Diego that went 21 innings. Got over at about 4 o'clock in the morning Pittsburgh time. And do you know we had a pitcher that year by the name of Dave Roberts? Do you realize that 3 times in extra innings, he had the bases loaded and the count 3 balls and 2 strikes on a Padres hitter, and all 3 times he got the final out, and the game went to the next inning. And we won that game. And on that same trip, August 31st of 1979, we played a game in San Francisco's Candlestick Park. Chuck Tanner was the manager of the ball club at the time. Kent Tekulve was on the mound. And I remember saying on the air, as Chuck went to the mound, I remember saying, "Oh my gosh, Chuck can't possibly be taking Kent Tekulve out of this game." Well, sure enough, Chuck took the ball from Kent Tekulve. But instead of Kent Tekulve walking to the dugout, which would have been expected, he walked towards left field. And I said, "Oh my God, Chuck Tanner can't possibly be thinking of playing Kent Tekulve in left field." Well, that was the plan. Grant Jackson, left-handed pitcher, came into the game to face left-handed batter Darrell Evans. And the plan was that if Grant Jackson didn't end the game, then Kent Tekulve would come back into the game to pitch to right-handed batter Mike Ivey. Now, what was quite humorous was that as Tekulve was out in left field, Lee Lacy came out of the bullpen to show Kent Tekulve how to pound his glove. And Omar Moreno from Panama, who spoke almost no English, started showing Teak which way the wind was blowing by throwing up blades of grass. Chuck Tanner, as he handed the ball to Grant Jackson, said, "Keep the ball away from Darrell Evans, left-handed batter." And Grant Jackson said, "Are you kidding? Kent Tekulve's in left field." First pitch inside, Evans turned on and fouled down the right field line. Second pitch, breaking ball away. Darrell Evans hit a fly ball to left field. Think about it, folks. What are the odds? What are the odds that Kent Tekulve should be in left field for one batter? And then what are the odds that that one batter should hit the ball to left field? And then what are the odds that Kent Tekulve would catch it? Well, he did. He caught it. Pirates won the first game of the World Series, the first game of that doubleheader, and went on to win the World Series. And I'm sure that many of you remember that in the 1979 World Series, the Pittsburgh Pirates fell down to the Baltimore Orioles 3-1. We lost a Saturday night game at Three Rivers Stadium and fell behind the Orioles 3-1. What you may not remember is that between Saturday night's loss and Sunday's Game 5, Chuck Tanner's mother died. Chuck Tanner's mom died. So the next day, I went into Chuck Tanner's office with Jim Fregosi. Jim Fregosi had started the '79 season with the Pirates, and he went, and Chuck put his arms around us and he said, "That's okay, guys. My mom went to get us help." I swear to God he said that. And the Pirates won Game 5. behind Jim Rooker and Bert Blylock. And the Pirates won Game 6 behind John Candelaria and Ken Tekulve. And the Pirates won Game 7 with Willie Stargell hitting a big home run that put the Pirates up 2-1. And then later in that game, Ken Tekulve was on the mound for the final out. You've heard that old cliche about the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. And for the Pirates of '79 that were family, remember that Chuck Tanner and his Pirates raised the World Series championship trophy at 11 p.m. on October 17th, 1979. And at 10 o'clock the next morning, October 18th, Chuck Tanner and all the Pittsburgh Pirates were in Newcastle, PA to bury Chuck's mom. I get chills thinking about the lessons I learned from Chuck Tanner and how you deal with life and how you deal with the positive aspects and you look for that glowing opportunity for you. You know, here tonight, I could say to you and just say to these inductees, this is not Cooperstown, this is not Canton, but I know it is Cooperstown, and I know it is Canton for you. And we are so honored to have this opportunity to pay respect to you and to pay respect for the accomplishments you've achieved. And for those of you that are part of this day as well, these young men and women who are front and center here, please all of you remember that what you have, the opportunities you've been afforded here in the Mid-Mon Valley, these are some of the men who have paved the way for you. It is these men and the other men that have been inducted into this Hall of Fame that were indeed the forebears of a principle of excellence and sportsmanship that permeates, that it has infused itself through this community, and that should never be forgotten. Because it is without a doubt, or as Lanny Ferteri would always say, there was no doubt about it. This banquet, this Hall of Fame defines the Mid-Mon Valley. Hey, did I mention that I wasn't the first choice to be the MC for tonight's night? Did I mention that? Hey, by the way, it says in the program that I'm the president of Waynesburg University. That, of course, would be Douglas Lee, who was your MC last year. And I guess he did such a bad job, that's why you went to me. But Autumn and Jenna, I want to welcome you to the Waynesburg University family in the fall. Congratulations. I'm looking forward to having you be a part of our family. And Dalton, I want you to know that I used to wear my hair like that at one time. And then I got old. Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the class of 2017, the Mid-Mon Valley chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame. Our first inductee was a rare 4-year Brownsville high school running back in the 50s. He received all Big 6 honors as both a junior and senior at Waynesburg University, then I believe Waynesburg College. He earned a all-district fullback, Little All-American honorable mention. Head football coach both at Beth Center and Brownsville High School. His teams went to the WPIAL playoffs 9 times. His wife is Marjorie. They have 3 children. And let me welcome him by singing the song that he walked into earlier tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention, I did what I meant to do and saw it through without exemption. And by the way, L.B. Oxenreiter will be here next year, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, our first inductee, Don Bartolucci. Yeah!
Legs are not too good anymore. Took too many hits. Mr. Terry brought back a lot of memories. In the 1950s, 1952, 3, 4, and 5, we used to have the Big Six banquet at the Twin Coaches, and Bob Prince was always the master of ceremonies. And when he began to talk about him, it brought back a lot of memories. It was a great feeling. I'd like to congratulate all the inductees tonight and commend the committee for the job well done. First of all, I'd like to say that we're in pretty good hands if you look at these young people and what they have accomplished already in their life. I think we're in good shape in the future. This is a very, very humbling experience. If you look at the program and you look at the inductees of the past, it's just unbelievable. To be named to the Mid-Mon Valley Hall of Fame is more than I can express. It's just totally unbelievable. When you receive something like this, there's a lot of people in your life that causes and creates what this is. I've been very, very fortunate in my lifetime. I've been involved in football from 1952 until 2002. And when you think back of the people that got you here, it's an unbelievable experience. You don't do it on yourself. When I was in high school, my senior year, you're thinking about going to college and wanting to go to college, but you don't know if it's going to happen. But I got a job the summer of my senior year as the Clinton Works in the open earth. That is the hottest, dirtiest place that you ever work. And I made my mind then that I was going to go to college because I didn't want to have to do that all my life. I've been fortunate, very fortunate, to have coaches that are just unbelievable. Eddie Woods, who just retired from Best Center, broke my record this past 2 years ago. And he played for me, and it was tremendous, tremendous honor to see that happen. I have quite a few coaches here tonight to support me and my family. I can't say enough. I think really when you look at it, your accomplishment is your family. I have 3 children, I have 8 grandchildren, and they're all highly successful people. And that's all you can ask for. When I came up to seating, I didn't write anything down. And the reason why I didn't write anything down is I couldn't read the paper anyhow. But Nani Milkovich, who is a very, very good friend, will tell you, if you would ask him, that I went to Brownsville High School and they never taught me to read or write. I don't know if you realize it or not, but Nani's probably going to make the next DeSecchi commercial because he is the most famous man in the world. I really don't have a lot to say tonight. I am truly, truly honored to be involved in the Mid-Mon Valley Hall of Fame. I would like my family, that's probably my greatest achievement, I'd like to have my family stand up They're over here on the right somewhere, to my right. And I would also like my coaches that are here tonight and did more of the work than I did, if they would please stand up also. I'm not going to say much more. They said we only have 5 minutes. And if I go over 5 minutes, the best center people will start ringing cowbells. So thank you very much.
Don Bartolomeucci, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Don. Yeah. We said 5 minutes. That was 5 minutes and 4 seconds. Nice going, Don. You know, this next inductee, there's been a rumor floating around that he's thinking about getting married. Well, I wanted to tell him that because I found out that you rented this outfit for the whole month. That's why I told him that. Have you seen his shoes? Huh? Red and white wingtip. Look at that! I want a pair of shoes. He's got diamonds on the soles of his shoes. See, I know what you're saying. Why did they wait so long to have Lanny become the MC of this show, huh? A 1971 graduate of Charleroi, he's considered a top ground gainer and scorer in Charleroi history. Gained over 3,000 yards rushing, scored over 250 points in his 3 years. As a junior, he led the Big Ten in scoring and rushing. As a senior, he was selected first team All-State. Also excelled in basketball, track, and received a football scholarship to Potomac State in Virginia. And fortunately for us, just before he walked through that door with his swagger, ladies and gentlemen, his medicine kicked in. Ladies and gentlemen, Phil Hughes.
First of all, giving all power and glory to God. Thank you, Jesus. My new friend here put me on a corner. But I tell you what, it is such a privilege to be amongst the elite of the Mon Valley. I feel good. Excuse me, I'm choking up. But I didn't do it by myself. Them people over there, them people over here, I love them. I didn't forget about you either. But it all started back in the day. I played for Charleroi, but I also played for a smaller team. It was called The Hill. That's where I grew up at. We had our own football field, we had our own basketball court, we had our own track, our own coaches, which were Alfred Horner, Lou Rawls, and George Hughes. Those guys right there, guys that I kept up with. Love them. I made a lot of mistakes in my life. You know what I'm talking about. Over here, these guys right here, the Lee brothers. That's my family too, you know. But achievements, I wasn't trying to achieve, nothing. I was just having fun. But back to the story when I said about the hill. Of course, back in the day it was called another name. But we're going to leave that alone. But that's where it all started at. And I'd like to get a moment of silence for Pete Soroki, which is my Major League coach, my junior high coach, Mr. Shell Penske, and Rab Curry. Okay, that's long enough. But those were good people, you know. But I can remember playing basketball around the Dairy Queen. That was our home court, really, you know what I mean? It was in Red Dog and glass. See? Lou Ross, I could tell you some stories about him, oh my goodness. But I am honored to be part of the league in the Valley. You know, I am. I could carry on, but I'm not going to do it because I'm tearing up. Thank you.
Well, congratulations to you. Congratulations. I have had the honor of sitting next to this next inductee for much of the evening. We have a bond in some respects in that he played for the 1956 New York Giants. Yeah, they were the New York Giants before they became the San Francisco Giants. Played in the Polo Grounds. Just so happens I'm from Rochester, New York, and the greatest baseball player ever to come out of Rochester, New York was a guy by the name of Johnny Antonelli. And Joe pitched with Johnny Antonelli. He was telling me earlier he once hit a home run. Pitcher hit a home run at the Polo Grounds, right? 2 home runs in a game in Nashville, right?
One was taken away.
One was taken away, oh. You could have at least lied for me to get in. A left-handed pitcher for the New York Giants. 1948 South Huntington High School graduate, which is now part of the Young School District. Posted 7 wins and 7 losses in his major league career in that season with the New York Giants. He has, where's Helen? Where's Helen? Where's she? Over there. He tells me you've been married 60 years, is that right?
63.
63 years. Wow. I've been married twice, and you'd add those 2 marriages up, and come anywhere close to 63. And they have, listen, forget the batting and the pitching ERA and all that stuff, 7 wins, forget all that stuff. 5 girls, 13 grandchildren, 11 great-grandchildren, right? You are blessed people. Please welcome to the dais our inductee, our 3rd inductee, Joseph Maganari. Joseph, thank you, sir. Congratulations.
Running 30 minutes late, singing Margaritaville and minding my own. Some foreign car driving dude with a road rage attitude. Pulled up beside me, talking
Coach, the gentleman, the first nominee here, said he didn't write anything down, but I sure did. I might be able to read. Hello. I can't do this. Hello. This might take about 10 minutes. All right, my name is Joe Martinelli. I'm here, and I want to thank everybody in attendance. And I want to congratulate the Mon Valley chapter with the 4 gentlemen, Chairman Mr. Dennis Stitch, William Cuban, Mr. Russell, Brian Herman and Tom Jackson. Well, let's go. Let's start with my career. I started about the same time as my career with my wife. I was playing sandlot ball in a small town in Van Nuys. I was pitching against all the friends, all the young boys in the town. I was a young kid myself. And I was whipping them strikeouts. And every time I had one, I looked at the sidelines, beautiful brunette. That really worked me up. And I had a hell of a game after that. Right? Let's go back a little bit. I was about 16 or 17. I was playing sandlot ball. We had no high school. I was playing with older men and younger ball players. They were like 30, 40 years old. We had no high school baseball. And I finally got a job. I was driving a truck for a man named Mr. King. I got it now. And Mr. King had a semi-pro team for Scottsdale. And when I was pitching with him, he'd seen I had a pretty good arm. So he brought in a New York Giants scout, and he watched me pitch and throw. And that same evening, I signed a contract, 1950, with the New York Giants. I made a big sum of $150 per month back then. And I was proud of that $150. In the meantime, I was still seeing my girlfriend, the same one. So I went away to play ball in 1950 and 51. We kept together, we wrote letters. I used to pull a fast one on my wife. I let it out here a couple years ago. When I had time, I would sit down and write 7 letters and change some of the adjectives, put stamps on them and mail one every day. Anybody get that? I wrote all 7 the same day. So, after 2 years, I was going great. My 5 minutes almost up? No. I was going great, and the Army drafted me. I had to go to service for 2 years. And while in the service, we kept in touch. Same way, writing letters. I did the same thing again, but she didn't know it. I'd write 7 letters, mail one every day. Because I was so busy, you know, service and all. And then after about 60 years of marriage, she said, honey, I did the same thing to you. Well, let's go back. I was so proud when I went to the Giants. I was playing with, like Lenny said, Johnny Antonelli, Willie Mays, Hoyt Wilhelm, all them big leaders, and I'm just a little boy. And I have the same nervousness right now. What else? Oh, Lenny told you about the home run, so I won't have to go over that. Did you tell about all my family? Yes, you did. Yeah, I don't have to repeat. Yes, I have 13 grandchildren, 11 great-grandchildren, and one was just born here in Bethel Park 10 days ago. I have my 4 daughters, they're down at the end table, and my 4 son-in-laws. You guys want to stand up? I was so proud. One day I was pitching in Pittsburgh. Anybody know Clemente, Roberto? Nobody? No. Well, anyway, before any game, whoever's pitching, we would go over to hitters and how to pitch each hitter. We would go like Mr. Thompson, I'd pitch him high and in, this guy low and away. We'd get down to Roberto, how do you pitch him? Pitch him right down the center. You get it? Because he hit any ball, any ball. Did you hear me out there? This is so great. I'm so nervous. I'm 87 years old. I'm so nervous. This is hard work. Lenny, I would never want your job. I want to thank everybody again.
Glad that's over, isn't it? Wait a minute. Hold on a minute, folks. Hold on a minute. It's not real anyways. Helen, stand up, Helen. Stand up, Helen. Stand up. Stand up a minute. Stand up a minute. 63 years, huh? Yep. Yeah? Come on. All right. Congratulations to you. So, what did he leave out of his speech that you told him to say?
That I love him and I will always love him. Me off guard.
He did what?
You caught me off guard. I didn't think I'd have to speak.
We're paying you $10,000 to be here tonight. Helen, do you have a nickname for your husband?
Honey.
Honey. What does he have a nickname for you?
Babe.
Dave?
Babe.
Dave, like D-A-B-E?
Yeah, he calls me that.
Dave. Oh, he's got that right. Yeah, thank you, Helen. Please sit down. Thank you. Congratulations. You okay, Joe? Yeah. Okay. He says he wouldn't want my job. It took me 33 years to get this gig. Are you kidding me? Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is a member of the Ringgold High School, or was a member of the Ringgold High School's 1972-73 championship team. Named an all-section, all-WPIAL player, participated in the celebrated Dapper Dan Roundball Classic as a senior in 1973 at Pitt. 2-year shooting guard, he averaged 6.1 points per game, served as co-captain in the late 70s. I am honored to bring to the microphone now, ladies and gentlemen, our latest inductee into the Mid-Mon Valley Hall of Fame, Scott Nedrow. Scott?
Like this song, right? Thank you, Landon. What an incredible honor to be with all of you tonight. And yes, tonight we are all family. First, I'd like to commend Dennis Stitch, the board of directors, Steve Russell, Brian Herman, and all the committee members, past and present, for keeping the spirit of athletic and academic excellence alive in this community. And congratulations to my fellow inductees. We will be always forever linked as the class of 2017. To the high school awardees, I hope this evening will serve as an inspiration to you to go on to even greater accomplishments in your life. Congratulations and good luck. I am humbled and blessed to be inducted into this Hall of Fame. When you look at the list of the past inductees, it is truly sports royalty, and I'm grateful to be able to join that list. But in reality, my induction is a tribute to all the people in my life who taught me, guided and believed in me, and most of all, loved me. That list of people includes some amazing mentors. My mentoring started at home with my mother and father. They taught me so many things. Take pride in your work, finish what you start, and most important of all, that our faith in God is the most important part of who we are and how we live our lives. In my family, my mother was the rock. She was the epitome of unconditional love and always handled herself with dignity and class. She was the director of health, education, and spiritual welfare. My father was the athletic director and the dean of discipline, as Coach knows very well. As my first coach, my father and his style and methods made an indelible mark on me as an athlete and as a person. I can still hear him saying, respect everyone, but fear no one. And don't forget where you came from. He made playing for all the other coaches in my career a lot easier. And from the weekend CYO games for St. Philip Neri to my last game at Pitt, in his old school way, I knew he had my back. My parents taught my sister, brother, and I the meaning of hard work. From a young age, it was a part of our DNA. And that work ethic has helped make us who we are today. I know my parents are looking down on us here tonight with pride on a job well done. I'm so happy that my brother Gil and sister Jennifer are here tonight with their families. A lot of you know our brother Gil. He was a 3-year starter for Coach at Ringgold, a 2-time unanimous all-section first team, and he also played in the Down Down Roundball Classic. He will always be my favorite hunting buddy. Thank you, Gil, for being here. My sister Jennifer, who came in from New Jersey, was my favorite cheerleader at Pitt. I can tell you there is no better inspiration than playing in a game and noticing your young 8-year-old sister cheering for you along the baseline with all the other Pitt cheerleaders. Jen, thank you always for being there, especially over these last several years. I'm so proud of both of you and proud of your families. Families which include a couple of aspiring athletes. I'd like to introduce to you my brother's son, Luke Nedrow. Please stand up, Luke. At 6'7", he's been a 2-year starter at Central Catholic High School in Pittsburgh, where he's an honor student, and as he enters into his senior year, he's being recruited by a number of Division I schools. And then there's my sister's son, Leon. He's 9 going on 29. He plays on 2 travel teams in New Jersey, and his motto is, if you need a 3, give it to me. He's long on confidence, obviously. I've been blessed with an extended family that has been a very positive influence in my life. But I would like to give a special shout out Jim. For his support through the years. Thank you, Jim. Other significant mentors in my life were my basketball coaches, and this is the easy part. I've been blessed to experience a number of very good coaches, including Tom Donahue, my freshman coach at Mon Valley, and later the GM of the Steelers. Coach Bob Hill, an assistant coach for me at Pitt, and later the head coach of 4 NBA teams. And the iconic and classy Coach Buzz Riddle was my first head coach at Pitt. But the two most influential coaches in my career were Coach Fran Amendola and Coach Tim Gergers. Coach Amendola, a Mid-Mon Valley All-Sports Hall of Famer and a Western Pennsylvania Coach Hall of Fame member. My coach at Ringgold and one of the finest coaches that I've ever played for. Coach is a great communicator and has the ability to get the best out of his players, and was by far the best dressed coach of them all. Some of his teachings include teams win, not individuals, and the importance of the system. And whatever you do, do it with passion. There was no better example of a team exemplifying these principles than our 1973 Ringgold team. WPIL champs, a 29-2 record, had beat the eventual state champions twice that year, as in General Braddock, and beat the #1 ranked team in the state, Chester, in the consolation game in the state playoffs. The players, it was Yolis Payne and I were the seniors, and juniors, Mel Boyd, Mike Brantley, and of course, Joe Montana. What an amazing group of athletes. All 5 plus the 6th man, Don Miller, went to major college programs for either basketball, football, or track. And with my induction here tonight, 4 of the starting 5 and their coach are now members of the Mid-Mon Valley All-Sports Hall of Fame. My second most influential coach was Coach Tim Gergers. He recruited and coached me at the University of Pittsburgh and went on to win a national championship at UNLV in 1990 as the assistant head coach. He's still one of the most sought-after assistant coaches in the NBA, with 20 plus years in the league and still coaching for the Milwaukee Bucks. Coach Gerg took skill development to another level. He rigorously showed me the level of commitment needed to be a successful student athlete at the Division I level. Most importantly, he prepared me for life after basketball. He helped me lay out a roadmap that would lead me to a Rhodes Scholar nominee, the graduate school business at Emory University in Atlanta, and ultimately a successful career in corporate America. Thank you, Coach. And while at Pitt, I had a number of special teammates. One of them is here tonight, Mickey Martin from Baldwin. Please stand. Mickey was like an older brother to me when I was a freshman. He was a key part of Pitt's Elite 8 team in 1973 and 74, and was drafted by the Detroit Pistons in the 4th round. Thanks, Mickey. Other players in my Pitt basketball family were Billy Knight, Keith Starr, Sam Clancy, Tom Richards, and Larry Harris, just to mention a few. But as I said in my opening, this award is really a tribute to all the people who helped me along the way. Each gave me one of the most important things they could give. They gave of themselves, and for that, I'm eternally grateful. And finally, to this Hall of Fame, thank you for selecting me to be a part of sports history. It is something I will cherish forever. Thank you all for coming, and God bless you.
Scott, congratulations to you Thank you for sharing great words with us, for sharing your emotions with us. I know you were struggling a little bit during the process, and some tears might have been forthcoming, but those tears sanctify the hallowed ground on which we stand here tonight. Congratulations to you, Scott Nedrow. Now, Bill, when you introduced this gentleman earlier in the evening, you played Start Me Up by the Stones. I thought maybe you'd go with Ruby Tuesday.
I could have done
that. Huh? Ruby Tuesday, huh?
Could do that.
This gentleman is a 1961 Belmar High School graduate, a 3-year starter, scored nearly 1,000 career points for the Hurricanes. He was named to the All-Section team, All-WPIAL, All-State, played for the Fayette County All-Stars, received a Pitt academic scholarship while contributing to the Pitt basketball team. 67 Pitt career games, he scored nearly 600 points and averaged nearly 8 points per game. His wife, Nancy Lee, children 3, grandchildren 7. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce Darryl Ruby.
You having fun tonight? I'm having a blast up here. This is fantastic. Yeah, the Hurricanes. I would like to congratulate the student scholar athletes and my fellow inductees up here. I need to recognize 2 people. One of them is my brother Steve, who early on, he was a 1955 graduate of Belmar High School, played briefly at West Virginia University, and went on to an outstanding coaching career at high school and college in Eastern PA. But Steve took the time and had the patience to teach me the skills required to improve my basketball, so that would end up with a basketball scholarship at the University of Pittsburgh, where I was able to play Division I ball, play in the NCAA tournament and in the NIT in Madison Square Garden, which was the highlight of my career. And I'd like to have Steve stand up. He was responsible for my being able to play as well as I did. We often had arguments about whether shooting the ball and scoring won games or defense, and I told him, if my 5 guys score 1 more basket, your 5 guys, I win by 10. Doesn't matter how you play defense. Sounded good to me at the time. The second person I'd like to acknowledge is a certain Miss Nancy Manown, whom I've been married to for 52 years. Can't quite catch you yet, but I'm working on it. I would like to thank Nancy for her love, her kindness, and the direction she has given me throughout my life. And God only knows I need to be directed. I have no idea what I'm doing, where I'm going, and what I'm going to do when I get there. But it was Nancy that was with me in high school, college. I went to physical therapy school, and by the time I graduated, I think she knew more about human anatomy and physiology than I did. Along the way, we had 3 wonderful children who are very successful. Colin is here tonight. Craig with his wife Shelley, and Stefan, one of my grandsons. Craig and Melissa couldn't be here tonight. I have 7 wonderful grandchildren. And here I am tonight, being inducted into the Mid-Mon Valley Sports Hall of Fame. It doesn't get any better than that. It really doesn't. And as my oldest son would say every once in a while, when nice things happen to you, I forgot what the hell I was going to say. When good things happen to you, when nice things happen to you, life is good. And tonight, life is good for me and my family. And I'd like to thank you all for coming.
She told you not to take a picture with your mouth open. At what point did you decide not to listen to her? 52 years ago, huh? You know, speaking of relationships, before I introduce Joe, I got to tell you this story. But 3 weeks ago, Suzanne and I had a party. And Suzanne said to me, we're going to have an antipasta salad. She said, would you cut the salami and the pepperoni and the cheese? And I said, I'd be happy to. And so I did. And so then I left the kitchen, went in, showered, got ready for the party, and I came back out. And I said to Suzanne, how did I do? And she said, you did fine. And I said, fine? Not perfect? And she said, if I wanted perfect, I would have done it myself. I would have done it myself. Oh, do you all have a program in front of you? You all have programs in front of you? Would you open to page 73 in your program, please? Would you open to page 73 in your program, please? Now tell me seriously, doesn't this guy in this picture look like a cross between Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and Robert Redford? Huh? Doesn't it? And Tony hasn't aged, and you have. You know, admittedly, of the 6 people up here, I have just met 5 of these 6 for the first time today. But I've known this gentleman now for a couple of years. I've told you about how much I enjoy doing high school sports. And every year, Upper St. Clair has a model cleaners basketball tournament. And every year, because Joe strongly believes that he wants his students non-section games, he wants them playing the toughest competition possible. So typically in early December, his Menneson Greyhounds play against, well, what was Quad A schools, now 6A, 5A. He strongly believes in that. And so I've had a chance to get to know him a little bit. And he shared some wonderful ideas with me. He's helped me a lot as it related to me trying to learn about high school basketball. And also I have found that the high school coaches that I have met and talked to have done a great job of helping me teach at Waynesburg University. I'm mentoring young people. These gentlemen have mentored young people and have shared their thoughts with me. For over 3 decades, he's been a basketball coach. He was in the spotlight a moment ago with Justice. Another opportunity to congratulate Menneson for another outstanding basketball season. He is a man, I know this, he is a man with a deep soul, a fierce competitor that cares so much about the young men that he mentors, and cares as much about the last guy on the bench as he does his starting 5. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest basketball coaches in Western Pennsylvania, Joe Salvino.
The band of the Fighting Irish.
I couldn't think of any other songs, so that's what I picked, right? I'm not too hip on the record part of this. First of all, I want to thank the Mid-Mon Valley Hall of Fame Committee for inducting me, for choosing me to be inducted. It's an honor, believe me. It's something that I never expected throughout my career. That, in fact, I didn't think I'd be here that long, but I am. I'll also congratulate my fellow inductees. It's an honor to be up here with you guys. Some of the people that I know. Phil Hughes and Scott Nedger, I got to see opportunity to see play. So, and those people were great athletes. So I appreciate being up here with them. This honor is just not mine alone. It's for all those who helped me make the Menneson basketball program a success for the last 33 years as well. And the first person I definitely have to thank is Randy Marino. Actually, Randy got me started when we started with Phil Pergola. We remember we had an 8th grade program. And so we started, he asked me to help coach, and so I was his assistant with 9th grade program, junior high, and he was my assistant when we was coaching the 8th grade. So he got me involved in it, and I guess I just like doing it. Another person I have to thank is Craig Lawson, because he's the one that hired me to be his first assistant. And the story is this. Craig Lawson's like 6'9", 6'10", and he hired me because it made him look like he was 7 foot. So that's how I got hired. So being small doesn't hurt all the time. I'd like to thank my ADs. At that particular time was Bill Bylowski, because obviously he had a lot to do with me getting hired at that particular time. And the superintendent at that time was Dr. Wilkinson, who stood beside me through some times that when the school boards have their ways. But he stood behind me, and I appreciate all that stuff. To the current administration and the school board, our superintendent, Dr. Spazak, Principal Eric Manko, and my athletic director, Gina Nacarado, and the board there now. I appreciate all the things that you've done for me. I know that there have been some times that we go through things, but you've always had my back, and I appreciate that, believe me. The school has been very welcome towards me to come in at any time, and they call me if one of my players seemed to get out of hand a little bit, so I go up there and try to straighten things out. To all my assistant coaches, past and present. Again, you don't do this by yourself. You'd never be able to do it by yourself. No athlete does anything by himself. No coach does anything by himself. So those people there are high on my list as far as like knowing that I really appreciate everything that they've always done for me. They've adapted my system, and they've welcomed the system, and it's appreciated. To all my players, past and present. I don't care who you are as a coach, you ain't doing it without them. But they adapted to my system, and they believed in this system because, well, we won. That's why I believe. To the fans, the community of Menneson is fantastic. You don't go anywhere without Menneson fans being there. They travel with you through thick and thin, and they're always there for that support, and I appreciate that. My parents, they always supported me in everything that I did. One of the things growing up, I never had like a sports hero. My hero was my father. Simply because when I was young, and he'd have to go to work, and sometimes, and it wasn't like now where they had trucks and everything's getting rid of the snow, they just come down with people in the back of an ash truck throwing ashes out there. where I lived, there was no way he was getting out, and he used to walk to work. So to me, that was something that stuck with me all the time. If there's a man that could do something like that, I certainly could do what I have to do. To my family, all the children, I'd like to, I mean, we have so many of them, I can't name them all, and I don't want to forget anybody, so thank you. And of course, I have to say the best for last. It's my wife, Tony Lynn, for her support and understanding my dedication into coaching. I will always appreciate and love her for being there for me. Thank you very much.
Joe, congratulations to you. And I know I'll see you in December, right? Upper St. Clair Model Cleaners Basketball Tournament. It says next in the program, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the presentation of the Mid-Mon Valley All Sports Appreciation Award. Roberta Berkstead and Tom Evans. Would you come on up?
Everyone, it's an honor. Well, first of all, let me say this. You know, the chairman of the board, famous chairman of the board, the Rat Pack, was Frank Sinatra. Well, we have our own famous chairman of the board, and he's right here. It's Mr. Dennis Stitch. Dennis has been amazing. He's been with the Mid-Mon Valley Hall of Fame since 2003. He's been the chairman. His connection to the sports world in the valley is so far-reaching, means so much to keep us going, and his untiring work is just so inspiring. So I think it's, when I heard that he wasn't yet given the appreciation award, and they said, who should we give it to? And I said, is there any doubt? It should be Dennis Stitch. Congratulations, Dennis.
Just an echo. Dennis, we appreciate everything you've done for this Mid-Mon Valley Hall of Fame, the student athletes. Thank you. Let's give them a great round of applause.
Thank you, everyone. We'll figure it back over to Lynn. I want to wish all the fathers a very happy Father's Day, and we truly, truly appreciate all your support, because with all of you out there, we couldn't have this function that we have. It takes people to make it work. So again, thank you.
The chairman of the board, huh? I've got you under my skin. Ladies and gentlemen, I've had a grand time. I've really enjoyed myself. I hope you have as well. I think we've gotten it done in pretty good time. Just about 9:25. That's pretty good. I've been to some of these banquets that go on to about 11 o'clock at night. So, let me tell you that next year when L.B. Oxenrider and Bob Papiani and Bob Costas and Andrew Stockey, when they all tell you no, you remember the kid from Waynesburg, okay? One other quick note for you. 2017 is the 50th anniversary of the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band. 2018 will be my 50th anniversary in broadcasting. I'm real proud of that, so looking forward to it. Where is Sophia from Bell Vernon? There you are. Let me bring the microphone to you, or would you rather come up here? Sophia will provide us with the benediction.
Please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for the blessings you have given us on this evening of honoring these high school scholar athletes, WPIAL Achievement winners, and all previous and new inductees of the Mid-Mon Valley All-Sports Hall of Fame. We gather tonight to reflect upon the talents and gifts you have given us here at this remarkable banquet. We ask you to continue to bless our coaches, teachers, family, friends, and others that they have guided us in developing these talents with true honor, respect, and joy. Help us, Lord, to continue to do our best in all aspects of our lives and to act as role models to those who look up to us. As we depart from this banquet, we ask you to bless us throughout the remainder of the night and guide us safely home. We ask this in the name of Jesus and in the power of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Good night,